G'day gamers, Gob here. Welcome back to Gob's Quickies, and today we're going to have a look at the Sculk sensor. You know, that little bad boy you find down in the deep, deep dark, which is the bane of your existence because it can attract all the nasties down there. The big bad dude himself, the warden. But the Sculk sensor has a number of other uses, and it's quite handy once you get to know how it works. So let's have a squiz at the Sculk sensor before we. So if you haven't already subscribed, go chuck me a sub. Do it. Right, let's go. Now this is how we normally see the Sculk sensor. It's down in deep, deep dark, and it's intrinsically linked to the Sculk shriekers as far as its operation goes. And the Sculk sensor detects noises, any vibrations, footsteps, placing down blocks, any of those sort of things. It emits a redstone signal which will travel a distance, and it'll activate the shrieker, which is what we don't want to happen. But see? Ah! And if we're down in the deep dark, that'll be attracting the big baddie himself right about now. So that's what we want to stop. But to do that, we need to understand how this works. Now, first things first, a Sculk sensor will detect vibrations up to 8 blocks away from the sensor in a radius, okay, which is roughly the area of the stone bricks. So if you walk anywhere within the 8-block radius, detect you and generate a signal. See that through the output to the redstone lamp, like that. So 8 blocks in any direction. But you can stop the vibrations by muffling it less. Okay, so wool will do that. I'm currently walking on wool, and it's not picking anything up. It can't hear me. It can't hear me at all. But if I cross stone, you'll actually hear that, and see it activates. So ways to defeat it is to put down wool. You know, you put down wool on the ground, you can walk around happily. You put down carpet, and it stops it as well, muffles it. Go off the carpet, generates a signal. Stay on the carpet, happens. Did you know you can also use wool just to block the signal? Okay, on this side, there's nothing between me and the Sculk sensor, so the signal will travel from me to the Sculk sensor. But over here, I'm standing still on the blocks, but it's not reaching it because this wool block is between me and the Sculk sensor, so it muffles the signal. It doesn't get to the sensor at all. And you can also do it by hiding the Sculk sensor within wool. So at the moment, it's open on that side. Can't hear me here because there's nothing between, there's wool between me and it. But over here, you can detect it. But if I do that, we're safe. Now, the thing that you may not know about the Sculk sensor is the redstone output from it is dependent upon what it actually detects. Okay, walking, go a fair way, send a fairly reasonable redstone signal. Okay, opening a trapdoor sends a decent signal. Opening a door. Oh, can't see that one. Opening a chest actually sends a larger signal than these two. Operating a piston sends a signal. Splashing sends a signal. Did you know using an arrow sends a signal? Quite a reasonable one too. Placing down blocks sends a signal, as does removing blocks. And you can use that mechanic to help filter out actions with your redstone signals based upon the Sculk sensor to identify various actions. Does a door open? Is a chest opening? That sort of thing. So you can have that redstone signal detecting a specific event. Now, a couple of things you could use is we've now got a Sculk sensor operated light. Simply got a Sculk sensor underneath there, and as you move around, it'll turn the light on, and it'll turn off when you're not there. Saves on power. Same here. And you can incorporate that concept into a hallway design. So it'll turn on, turn off as you're moving around. Now, I did try the new copper light bulbs with this, but I discovered that the copper light bulbs seem to have an on and off. So if I put a copper light bulb in there, it's activated, it stays on, and it takes another redstone signal to turn it off. So, the redstone lights are probably the better one to use. And this black box here is an example of the kind of thing you could build with the Sculk sensors and lanterns to make a illuminated hallway. I just got to mob proof it somehow. Okay, so walk in here. The moment it detects our walking, the lights that are underneath his carpets will come on, the lights in the roof will come on, and it'll illuminate our passageway. And it'll turn off when we leave. How cool's that? So there you go. I've educated you a little bit about the Sculk sensor, and hopefully you'll be able to approach the big, bad, dark area with a little bit of extra knowledge and understanding of how these bad boys work. If you liked the video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other content. But that's all I got time for today. Until next time, hooroo! Big old Sculk away now.